Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with a special guest and a former mainstay, a former fixture of the channel, the great Midwest Vintage Cards, Josh Adams, who is now the CEO, CFO, CVO, CTO, and co-owner of 90sauctions.com. And I wanted to give Josh a little platform to come chat about his new auction platform, some of the items that are up for auction right now that's ending this Sunday, and then just bullshit and shoot the stuff with you, man, because we haven't talked in a long time, especially not on camera. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Hi, Brian. Nice to be here again.
Yes. Okay.
What's up?
All right. So let's just start. I mean, how do you and I know each other? How did we meet each other? You're in a Jordan group, but yet I never see you post any Jordan cards. You want to explain that? You want to start there?
I mean, I didn't know this was going to be an ambush interview, but that's cool. No,
that's an ambush.
No. I have some Jordan. I post some Jordan cards. I have a couple that are coming in probably next week. I'm pretty excited about. So
okay.
You have to wait and see.
So I asked that because it's a Jordan group chat, and it's an amazing group chat, right? It's great. A lot of people, a lot of them a lot smarter than me, including yourself, especially when it comes to cards. But I feel like for every one Jordan you post like 45 Frank Thomas cards.
Yeah, they're a lot easier.
They're a lot
affordable.
You can buy 45 Frank Thomas cards for every one Jordan. That's the problem, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's all right.
That's why I collect Damian Lillard, right? Because I can buy 12 Damian Lillards for every one Jordan. All right, I wanted to bring you on here, man. I wanted you to tell all the people that watch my channel, a lot of the people that watch my stuff, because I collect 90s, primarily Jordan, but also other 90s stuff. A lot of people that watch my channel love the 90s. They're kind of around our age. They grew up in the 90s. They like the stuff that I put out. And so I wanted to have you on the show to talk about 90sauctions.com. I got screen share up so we can kind of use that as a guide. This is your website. Tell me about it. Tell me where it started. Tell me who else is involved. And just give us a little background.
So, good friend of mine, John, he's a Chicago Sports Card Gems on Instagram. We met, actually, he had a Hot Numbers Jordan that I wanted in March 2020. Contacted him on eBay, noticed that he lived near me. I'm like, hey man, let's just, I'll meet up with you and we'll exchange there. We started talking, we hung out for a little bit and have a lot of the similar interests. And we started, trading with each other through March. And I've had the idea before March 2020 for this auction, but I needed a partner. I need someone to do it with. And John's a great partner and really, really is integral. I couldn't do it without him. And it's just it's a good partnership. It's really 50-50 and it really helps. I had this idea in 2019. I helped two friends of mine ran a vintage football auction house, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, like 1920s Red Grange memorabilia.
Backwards and forwards.
Exact encyclopedic knowledge. And so I helped them run it in terms of I did a lot of the legal work. I did a lot of the content for the auction, like the descriptions, scanning, just, everyday behind the scenes back end work. And I really saw how auction houses run. Got a lot of valuable experience doing it. The most fun was actually the closing night. You would go there and just kind of hang out, drink some beers, and just watch the auction roll in. We get a lot of phone calls. It was an older crowd, it was older than us. And, I feel pretty old, but like 70s, 80-year-old guys who didn't like the internet. So they would call and put their bids in. So they'd call, hey, I want lot 14. So I said, okay. I put the bid in for him. Am I the high bidder? No, you're out. Do it again. I said, how much? He'd tell me, do you high bidder? Yeah. Then you have to call them, though, when their bid if they got outbid again, because they wouldn't get a notice because they're not on the internet.
Right.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. And then, so then people would call, of course, after extended bidding started. Hey, I want to bid on this and I can't. And I look at them like, well, you didn't, did you bid yet? No. Like, well, you can't.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, is to get people in. So okay, fine. And then it was just a lot of fun. And I thought to myself, there's a niche. This vintage football is a huge niche, and it exploded. And I'm like, if all these old guys are into this, there's got to be people our age who are finally, I don't know about me, but you making money, a successful lawyer,
real lawyer.
Tell me what that's like later on. I want to know. So, and I thought there's tons of people our age who love the 90s, who love Jordan, who love all that stuff, inserts, parallels, even like set building of inserts.
Yeah.
I said, there's got to be a market for that. And I had this idea. And in December 2019, my friends closed the vintage football auction. I begged them to keep it open because my goal was like kind of like slowly change it over, you know?
Yeah, sure.
And they're like, no, we're just going to close it down. I said, okay, fine. So I had, you know, 2 young kids, a family. I couldn't really just quit my job, you know, silent quitting, but just stop answering the phone. And
disappearing, they call that.
Yeah. Exactly. Ghosting is what the kids say, right?
Ghosting. Yeah. That's what they call it.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then March 2020 came around and everything stopped. And I was like, well, I don't gotta save my money now. I don't know where the next paycheck's coming from. So I have to kind of buckle down. Side note to that, a friend of mine, literally March 11th, called me. Texted me, has a text. He had a 86 Fleer sealed box for $50,000.
Yeah, those ran to a lot more than that.
Yeah, a lot more, and I just can't look at it. And I had the 25. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. Like, my wife would probably kill me. I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know if the mortgage is gonna get paid the next few months, but I bought this really cool box of cards. There could be a few Jordans in there. Yeah. There are a few Jordans. So I passed on that, and that's a side story. But anyway, so then this was on hold until last summer. John and I started talking. You know, we did the national together, and we're like, 2021. We did the national together, and we're like, you know, this should take off. We should do this. So we spent a lot of time just kind of doing a lot of research and work in terms of cost, what has to be done, what we need to do, and how to find material. Yeah. And then April 2022, I started, incorporated, laid the groundwork, and had our first auction. It was supposed to be in September, but we moved it to December. I was out of town for a month, which you know all about that. And took off. It was the response was really encouraging for the first one. And, you know, the goal is to, you know, pay your consigners quickly.
Yes.
Maximize everything you can for your consigners, good photos, good advertising, just get communication out there. Pay everyone quickly. That's really because I consign stuff to some auction houses and you're like, where's my money? You know, like, come on.
The photos, Josh, just farting around on the website. And I did bid on a couple things. I didn't win any in the first auction. And it sounds like it was a success. And you know what? Putting that one to bed and putting that anxiety behind you and getting acclimated to it and saying, okay, we did it. We can do it. We did it. We just got to do it again and just do it a little bit better each time. Get a little bit different cards each time, kind of grow it. There's definitely a niche for 90sauctions.com. I mean, there's a huge niche for this. I think that a lot of consigners and buyers will like the fact that there's a limited number of items because oftentimes we talk about this. And you talked to me about this before. And when you asked me, should we do this? I said, man, I think there is a place for this. Meaningful card. Every card matters. You're not going to see a Zion Optic Base PSA 9. You're not going to see – Zion's a basketball player.
I know who he is. Yeah. He makes those cases, right?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, you're not going to see chintzy little cards like that cluttering up the auction. It's not going to have any issues with, getting your bids in. There's not as much traffic. There's not as many cards to look at. Therefore, there are more eyes on the cards that you do have. And I think in this auction, if I had this right, I think you have 65. Yes. And that's baseball, basketball, football, hockey. I don't think you have anything different than that.
No, although we are, open to Pokemon.
There you go.
Anything 90s that's either rare and collectible, we'll take it.
Got it. And it's just like, this is like a who's who, right? I mean, I know, and you can tell by your homepage, it's Gretzky, it's Griffey, and it's Jordan. And if anybody's more 90s than those three dudes, I don't know who is. I guess you could throw like Joe Montana or Marino in there or something like that. But damn, man, you checked all the boxes with those guys on the homepage. But we're seeing Randy Moss. We're seeing some Aikman autographs. And look, I want to reiterate, this auction doesn't end until Sunday. So all the bidding is going to come fast and furious, late and at the end. So you're going to see some crazy low numbers, which if you're a buyer, you should look at it and say, it's free to register for 90sauctions.com. Let me just go on. I did it. I figured it out. You were like, go register. And I was like, okay, 5 minutes later, I was like, done. Literally, it was that easy for me. So young people watching are surely going to be able to figure it out. Even old people can figure it out. But all the bidding is going to take place late. So as I say, whenever I do these, I do PWCC auction previews, Josh, and I'll try to do one for your auction as well for the basketball stuff. all of the bidding takes place late. So ignore the numbers. Like you literally can completely ignore what the current bid is. Like a lot of them are 0 or 50. I mean, if we go up here towards the top, of course, the big one the highest one's the one that I care about that I'm going to bid on. It's at 1181. 733. Those numbers don't mean a damn thing. All it means is there's a few people that have already expressed interest early on. They had it flagged. They put it in. Most people, myself included, 2 hands raised. Josh, I put a Microsoft, an Outlook calendar reminder Sunday to go start going after. Nice. I'm not. Yeah, well, you know which card. I'm going to try to get that refractor. I'm going to get it or I'm not. But I've got a reminder. So I'm not bidding right now. I'm just going to wait and start bidding on Sunday. But a lot of basketball, beautiful 90s basketball, the Kobe Noise Boys. You got a Pippen Ultra Stars Gold in a high grade. You got somebody who for some reason chose to grade a Pierce at SGC 10. I'm sure I offended somebody right there. But that's a big time card. Like that's a legitimate card right there for a Paul Pierce collector, the essential credentials now, man. Tell me a little bit more about, let's just say this. The website, I'm bad at this. I'm not good at promoting, but 90sauctions.com, the number 90, not the word, 90 S for 90s, and then auctions.com. Get on the site. It's real easy to figure out how to register. I'm already registered in. You can see at the top it says welcome Cajun Cardboard. Easy as pie to bid. Is there anything people have to do to get qualified, Josh?
Just like I have like a reference section that's just so to protect really consigners from people just, coming in, racking up bids and not paying.
That's the worst. It's got to be the worst for you as the business owner because you think you've got closure, you think you've got completion, then you got to pick up the phone and call a consigner and say, hey, this jackass didn't pay. And there really is. There's only so much you can do to kind of thwart that at the outset. Only so much of it's under your control. How many items did you have in the first auction that you guys ran in December, Josh?
42, which is kind of a weird number, but I wanted to get – it should have been maybe around 40, but I figured just 42 is fine.
And then how many of those did you get stuck with a non-paying bidder?
1. Thank God.
Yeah.
1.
I'll take that, right? Yeah. That's pretty good odds. I mean, that's better odds than I've heard from PWCC and Golden and Heritage. I mean, it's smaller. It's smaller. It's more niche. Yeah. Most people, if they're going to go shill crap, they're not going to go shill it with your stuff. They're going to go shill it over there where, all the eyeballs are. But what are you guys doing to increase the number of eyeballs? Because if somebody wants to consign a card to you in 90s auction, their concern is going to be like, well, you're new. I want to make sure as many people see it. And your response is going to be, well, there's fewer items, number 1. And then number 2 is tell me how you guys promote these beautiful items in your auction.
So we have a lot of social media presence. We do a lot of ads on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So all the social media ads, it seems to be paying off. Yeah. Also, though, we're in the process of getting our PSA advertising program set up. That should be done soon. So if it doesn't come for this auction, it'll be for the next one, which will be in June. So that I think that's a good way to just kind of get the word out there, and especially with PSA, being the largest third-party grader, that could only be helpful in terms of getting eyes out there, advertising other sports magazines, and just get as many eyeballs as you can. I think also success begets success. So do a good job for your consigner, get him paid right away. Do a good job for your buyers. Also, they're both equally important, right? Without the consigners, you don't have any items. Without the buyers, the consigners don't get paid. So you got to keep them both happy. Ship them out quickly. Like, the next morning I'm up early. I mean, I'll if I have court, well, I'll miss it. I'm just kidding. Get everything shipped even Sunday night, get it wrapped up, go to the post office, go to UPS and get it out there the next day.
How long do people have to pay? That's a question a lot of people are going to ask. A lot of people, Josh, complain because PWCC and Golden gives people too long to pay.
14 days, it seems to be the industry standard, and I'm sticking to the 14 days. Luckily, though, people want this stuff, right? So they want it. So the sooner you pay, the sooner you get it.
Tell me why not 72 hours. I'm just curious. This is me asking you, and you're no different than, on that pay window. I mean, I know that's kind of industry standard. Why do we need to give people 14 days? I've never taken 14 days to pay for anything in my life.
Well, I memean, yeah, it's true. It's a good question. I think, sometimes life gets in the way. Maybe you win it on Sunday, Monday you're running around, Tuesday you got kid stuff, Wednesday you're busy. It's just so happens it could be. And if you want to pay with a check or a wire, You got to go to the bank, send a check out.
Yeah.
So some people don't want to pay Venmo or Zelle or something. They just want to send a check. It takes, maybe they can't get there. And also, if it feels like such a short period of time, I don't want people to feel rushed.
Yep.
I want them to be able to, and also.
It would appeal to consigners to have a short window, but it would be a deterrent to buyers. So I see how it cuts both ways. What are the methods of payment that you accept? Just so people know.
Personal check,
yeah,
which is always fine. We hold it for 7 days. Cashier's check is fine. Venmo, PayPal, but you have to pay 2%. Zelle. What else? Venmo, and then I think that's it. I mean,
what about lira? Is it Spanish lira? Isn't that the monetary currency in Spain?
I thought that was in Ireland.
It may be. I don't know.
I don't think
know. It is. No,
the euro. We take euros. Sure.
You take euros?
Yeah. But not Bitcoin.
No crypto stuff. No crypto stuff for you. I know.
No,
it would blow your brain. Like, I don't understand it. I know you don't understand it.
No.
So yeah, no crypto. Don't try to pay an ETH or Bitcoin or any of those weird things. We're dating ourselves, man. We're so old. Well, tell me about some of the items. Let's just start from the beginning. I mean, this is the one that is going to appeal probably the most to the people on my channel. Jordan stuff is really popular on my channel. This is the 1997. And look, the picture looks blurry when it's far out, but when you click on it and you get into it, man, you can really zoom. Like, this is next level high def here, people. Like this, I mean, I'm telling you, this is every bit, if not more precise than when you zoom in on PWCC auctions. And I look at those all the time.
So Create Auction, the software we use, is from Seth Nagneman, and he's been doing this for 25 years. A lot of established auctions use him, and he's really got this drilled down to an exact science. It's great to upload pictures really easily. It's easy to edit the lots and just create the auction. I've been testing around ways to take good photos, right? Because you want to capture that refractor and that color. Because this card, when you scan it, it just comes off. It looks like the same as the base, not the refractor. The entire allure of the refractor are these multicolored and shiny, which is amazing.
Yeah, this picture, I mean, it's very clear. There's no greening on this bad boy. I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, the only green is because it's like the rainbow, right? It's like the green, blue, yellow, orange. I mean, you see the refracting nature of it, right? Are you a coating guy? You leave a coating on, or you peel the coating?
Coating on all day, the way God intended.
I'm about to turn this off right now.
That's how it came out of the pack.
So what? Who cares?
I don't want to alter it. That's
It's a refractor. It's supposed to refract. And guess what? The people that produced them said peel here. They're telling you to peel it, Josh.
You've read statutes. It's not a shall, it's a may.
You may consider peeling here. Is that what it said? Or does it say peel here? That sounds like a what's the word I'm looking for? A demonstrative sentence. Peel here.
Right.
We've got some cool Kobe's in here. Here's a Kobe right here I'm not even familiar with. Kobe Best Performers, Atomic Refractor, BGS 9.5. Who does these little blurbs down here? Who's this? Is this you or is this John?
I wrote all these.
It's you.
Yep. I wrote all those. Do my research, find the little, and then also this auction, we did an online catalog. On the front of the page, there's a catalog in book form. It looks like an actual catalog book that you can download.
Tell me where to go. Home?
Go to home, scroll down.
Okay.
Online catalog.
Click to view.
Yeah.
Oh, that's big time. Okay.
And then hit the arrow, and then it looks like
Josh, that's awesome, man. This is cool.
Keep going. Then it has a little welcome, and then and it's got every lot, and you can download it, look at it on your iPad if you want, on your phone. And that's how we I thought that'd be a really neat way to promote the auction.
This is really cool. Do you hear this? Listen, be quiet. It's making little page turning noises. That's a little extra touch. I like that.
Thanks.
I like that. That's really cool, man. Man, that's awesome, Josh, for sure. What do you think? Basketball, baseball, football, hockey, how is it broken down? Does it depend auction to auction? Are you seeing more consigners with basketball or baseball, or is it just whatever comes in the door and then you cap it?
So it's weird. This time there's a lot more baseball.
Okay.
First time there's a lot more basketball. I think in terms of popularity, I think it goes basketball, football. Although the baseball guys are pretty intense. I just don't think I don't know if there's as many on Instagram, but there's a ton of. I'm in a '90s chat of all sports, and most of them are baseball guys. So there's a strong contingency of '90s baseball collectors out there.
Josh, in the world, what is there more baseball card collectors than basketball card collectors in the world?
I think in the world, basketball. I'd say. I think so.
I think it's basketball. If you said in the United States, what would your answer be?
Baseball.
I think so too. But if you say the world, you bring Asia in, and Asia's overwhelmingly basketball, more so than certainly no football, but overwhelmingly basketball. I think you're right. I think worldwide, I think basketball gets the nod. I think domestic USA, I think you're right. I think probably baseball.
Because baseball's got such a huge swath of like 1890s to now.
Oh my gosh. Well, they were first to the plate. I mean, baseball cards were collected for decades before any other cards were collected. Even football and basketball were a little bit later. Yeah. So I'm just scrolling through some of these cards. I mean, some of these cards are like you've got the Alonzo and the Shaq, East-West refractor PSA 9. You've got an atomic refractor Weber, Hall of Fame, Chris Weber. Another atomic refractor Shaq. This is good stuff, man. A couple of tickets in there.
Yeah. Got Jordan's baseball. I was at that game. That Cubs Sox game, Jordan
had where down here? Oh, I got it. He played in a major league game.
Yeah, it was like I don't think it was an actual major league game. There was like a Cubs Sox
exhibition game. I see it.
Yeah, but he played at Wrigley. He had a double.
This one, I messaged you right when I looked at when when it came out. You send me the text. I'm on the group. I get the text for the new auction. So the second auction came out. You sent me a text. This is the first thing down here. I don't know if anybody can see it. This is what caught my eye first. You've got it labeled dealer hoard, right? And it's 400 basketball cards, refractors, die cuts, and serial numbered in a big box. That is the first thing that caught my eye because you know me, I like to just buy collections, and we were just talking about that, or buy big, massive, and then kind of piece it out, keep what I want, grade what I want, offload whatever I don't want. That one really kind of caught my eye. I'm still looking at that one. I think that's going to be an interesting one to pick around with for sure. And then I think I saw, a Noise Boys Kobe frequent flyer PSA 10 Jordan collectors who watch my channel. That's a big card. We've talked about that card on this channel before. And then closing it out here with Iverson. That's pretty cool, Josh. I like how y'all do that catalog. That's really impressive. That's good looking. So if you want to consign with 90s Auctions, it's real easy to find. You go on here, you click consign with us, and you just follow the prompts. If you want to ask questions, you just hit the contact us, and it's going to shoot an email to Josh at his 90s. It's Josh at 90sauctions.com, or you can speak to Josh if you want to call him 224-422-2273. Y'all are located in Chicago. Where are the cards housed that you are selling, that you are consigning?
We have a warehouse that we keep them in.
Okay.
For insurance purposes, you need to keep them in a secure location. So we have
I just need to know exactly where.
I'll give you the address.
And I need to know what the code is to get it.
It's our address is 1060 West Addison. Actually,
is it in? It's in the Chicago area though. Y'all keep them kind of close so you can grab them, get them out, ship them out. How many people total? It's just you and John.
Me and John. Yeah,
you and John. So while it would be nice to have a bunch of little minions working for you to take some time off your hands, as a potential consigner and as a buyer, I like it that I know only 2 people are touching these cards. Only 2 people are shipping these cards. Only 2 people are sending and receiving payment. I like that. And I know both of you, and I trust both of you implicitly. So I like that idea that nothing's going to get lost in the shuffle. We're not going to have an employee who's new that y'all had to train. No. It's you 2 guys. You've been there. You've done that. Y'all have got great collections, great 90s collections especially. What else? What was the big sale in auction number 1?
Shaq Essential Credential.
That's right. Can we find it? Can we find it, Josh? Is it still up here? Do y'all have results somewhere?
It should be. It should be on old auctions.
Auction, current auction, terms, consign, contact, home.
Oh yeah, go to see where it says March 2023 auction. Click on that.
Yeah.
On the bottom. No, on the under browse. Keep going down. You're just there, right there.
Inaugural auction. There you go. That's it. Okay, sorted highest to lowest. That Shaq Essential Credentials is big time. That's a badass card. 47 bids there. A nice Jordan red, Topps Gold label with the red. It's kind of an interesting gold red label, gold black label.
Yeah, they were messed. They were like that's their answer to Legacy, and it just kind of the numbering and the wording was always weird.
Yep. Damn, a big Emmitt Smith Star Rubies and PMG red Dion.
That's the one that didn't get paid for.
That's what?
That's the one that didn't get paid for.
No way.
Yeah.
So what do you do, Josh? Let's just take me through this hypothetical. It doesn't get paid for. It sells 3803. Do you call the underbidder and say, hey, look, or do you first have to call the consignor and ask them, can you offer it to the underbidder for the next highest bid? Or do you, tell me how that works.
We just kind of put it aside, and I wanted to publicly shame the guy, but he's not on Instagram, so I couldn't. So,
well, if he was on Instagram, it would be real easy. But people who do things like that probably aren't on Instagram because word spreads fast in this hobby. If you're a non-fan bidder, word's going to spread fast.
Very fast.
Man, there's some really cool looking cards in this one. Another big Shaq. Essential credentials here. A 61 Garnett. Wow, that first one was a whale of an auction too. I noticed you've got a lot of really nice Griffies in the first one and in this one coming up. Griffey's about as hot as it gets for 90s baseball?
Yeah, it's like, he's not like Patrick Ewing, but he's definitely
that's an inside joke, right?
He's the most collectible 90s baseball player.
I think you're right.
Him and Bonds. Bonds is still very collectible.
Are people collecting him? Because, when I get that urge to get into baseball, you know how I feel about inserts and parallels.
Yes.
And you know how I feel about the 90s. If I was going to dip my toes in the water in baseball, Josh, it would be Bonds, 90s inserts and parallels. It would. I'm just telling you it would, because he was my guy. Like, I was like, take as many steroids as you want. I just like watching the guy play. Everybody else is taking it, so he took him and did better.
He would get maybe one pitch a game to hit. Maybe.
Unbelievable, man.
And he could still he's a 40-40 guy in Pittsburgh. He was amazing. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
They need to just be done with it and put all that crew in the Hall of Fame, because for them to assume Griffey, no offense, but Frank Thomas, for them to assume all those guys, I'm just saying,
Frank
for them
was
to
clean,
assume everybody's clean and because they weren't on this little black book is dumb to me. That's just dumb. Like, I would assume everybody did it, because if you didn't, you were going to lose your job, and you definitely weren't going to lead the league in homers or RBIs or runs or anything else.
Frank was always big.
Frank was always big. I'll say that.
But you don't know. You're 100% right. You don't know. You know
what I mean? Even the pitchers, like, that's often overlooked, is that, the pitchers weren't doing. Pedro Martinez is a little bitty guy. He couldn't have been using HGH and steroids and andro. I'm like, no, the guy pitched every fourth day and pitched like 40 games a season and threw like 8 innings a game. I mean, no, it helps with recovery. It's not just getting large to hit it out of the park. It's recovery that a lot of these guys took it for. So
exactly.
So we're getting off. Okay, so 90sauctions.com, easy to find on the website. If you want to follow Josh's 90sauctions.com Instagram page, it's the same thing. It's 90s auctions on Instagram. You can see I'm following. There's proof that I do care. And then if you want to follow Josh individually, he's vintage. He's Midwest Vintage Cards. Midwest Vintage Cards, all one word, on Instagram, and he uses both pages to kind of hype the cards and help grow the number of eyeballs on the cards that he's got in his account. And if you scroll long enough, you're going to see Frank Thomas everywhere. I'm looking for some more. There's some Frank. There's a big Frank. I recognize that one.
Love it.
Yeah.
Frank.
So Josh has got some great stuff. An interesting collection. I got to spend a lot of time with you guys. You were my pit stop at the Atlantic City July National. You might have saved me from having to get knee surgery, because anytime I got tired from that concrete, I'd crash with you guys. That was fun.
You can this year also. We're set up 14th year, I think, in a row at the National. So
I'm excited about that. You got to be thrilled that the National is like right in your backyard. Like, that's a whole game-changing deal, right?
Oh my God, it's the best. It's so much easier. It's just everything is so easy when it's 20 minutes from home. There's some good pizza places I'll have to take you to. So
yeah, I'm in your hands. I'm bringing another really good buddy collector of mine here from Baton Rouge. We're coming up there together, and I've got another buddy who's flying in from Vegas. So we're all gonna meet up, and I'm just gonna shake hands and kiss babies and introduce my friends to all my collector friends, and let some of these Louisiana guys breathe in the hobby a little bit and meet some nice guys. Are you going to do a booth for 90sauctions.com, or are you going to do it through your booth like last year where you hand out cards and just introduce yourself and all that stuff? Is it all one booth, or are y'all going to?
We split up. I bought 2 booths last year for this coming year. So one will be 90s and one will be for my stuff to sell. And then we're sharing with a couple other guys. So it'll be a nice area. It'll be fun. I had a buddy who did the football auction with me. He used to bring a couch every year. Very comfortable. I got to see if I can get it this year.
That's a great idea. You can sit down, but you've got to bid on a card in our auction. Like that's it. That's how you like rent that couch. Have you ever considered either bringing a cowbell like Mississippi State fans, or maybe a bullhorn and just screaming at everybody that comes by and let them know that 90s auction is the place to go?
Oh my God, I think I would go out of business by the end of the week. What do you think of that? It's like that Tops Pavilion. You ever hear that guy like they're ringing the bells and then yo? I was next to them in 2018 in Ohio, in Cleveland. I think it was 2018. It was the worst.
Miserable. Miserable. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be even more excited come July because I was supposed to go to the Mint and it ended up falling through. And I think, what is that, next weekend or the weekend after? And kids stuff came up and I'm not going to be able to go. Are you going to the Mint? You going to be able to get there?
I can't. I got too much going on here.
Yeah.
So. Plus,
yeah, I understand. Anything else, Josh? What else did we forget about? Is there any dumb questions that I didn't ask that I needed to ask you to help people figure out? 90sauctions.com. Feel free to consign or bid. It is as dummy proof as it gets. Whoever did the website, I know it wasn't you, it was John. Tell John he did a good job setting up, or you probably paid a third party, huh?
That's that create auction. Seth Nagdeman. He does everything.
Great. Dude, he did fantastic. I mean, it is the interface is awesome. It was so easy to get registered. I'm trying to remember who I put down as my references so I could get approved. I'll probably put you.
I think you did. That's pretty funny. I'll check. I don't remember. I'll look.
That probably got me through the door. If I don't pay, you know very well where to find me. No question about that. I won't take 14 days either, I promise. I'm taking 14 minutes probably because the card that I want, I'm going to be very anxious to pay for it because I'm going to be very anxious for you to ship it right away. So
there's a 14-day wait period for Louisianians. So, but
Louisianians, right? Well, sometimes it takes a pack mule a long time to get to Chicago, dude, with that money.
Pony Express is gearing up again. I will say though, for consigners, there's 0 fee to consign, so it doesn't cost anything.
That's what I forgot to ask about.
That's
okay.
Right. Yeah,
buyer's premium.
17%. If you use a personal check, we knock it down to 15%.
You would rather a personal check?
Yeah, just quicker. I like the paper and just deposit it. It's easier. For me, it's easier.
Y'all take wires?
We take wires. I think, but some banks charge domestic wire fees, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is, if you want to do that, that's fine.
So buyer's premium is a little smaller than, and then tell me again how the consigner, how does it work with the consigner? The consigner gets all of the hammer.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. And then, if, God willing, we're in a bigger, get a bigger item, like if someone had a red Kobe PMG they wanted to sell, just saying, I'm throwing it out there as like an example. If they had one, they would definitely give some of that BP would go to the seller because it is a huge card. And a lot of auction houses do that to entice a seller, no matter what the grade is. It doesn't be any grade. It's cool. Yeah. Red Kobe PMG. If anyone's got one, let me know.
Could be slabbed authentic.
Authentic's fine. I'm not picky. It's Kobe.
Fair. Okay. That's it. I forgot to ask the most important question, the fees and this and that, but you guys get the gist. Again, I can't stress enough. The website's easy. The interface is awesome. The pictures are great. You can go 4 wide. You can even zoom in and go 2 wide. But when you click on them, you're not hiding anything on these cards. We'll put it that way. Like PSA 10s, you can get right up on it and see everything. If somebody left one of their hairs on the card, it's going to look like it was cracked in half because it's like Zoom City. But there's the hot numbers right there. There's the hot numbers that sold in that first one. Yep. This is that.
Not the same card, but yeah. So Brian, thank you so much. Seriously, that is very kind of you to do this.
Yep, no problem. Again, reach out to Josh on Instagram, Midwest Vintage Cards, 90s Auctions, or go to 90sauctions.com and go check it out. This auction ends, just to be clear, today is Monday, March 13th. It is 3:19 Central Time. I'm going to have this up probably in the next hour and a half on the YouTube channel. It'll probably get 10, 15 views, I would hope.
That's a lot.
And then it's a lot for me. And then it ends Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central.
Yeah, so 6 Eastern. Yeah.
6 Eastern, 5 Central, 3 West Coast. Okay, so just before the PWCC Weekly. If you're a PWCC Weekly person like I am, jump on this. It ends a couple hours, 4 or 5 hours before the PWCC Weekly, same night, Sunday. And then, Josh, when's the next auction scheduled after this one? This is auction number 2. You're going to try to do 4 a year?
4 years, so once every quarter. We're looking at either June or July, but what I'd like to do is look at a calendar just to make sure that I'm not, going up against anything that would kind of hurt the consigners. So we just
Yeah.
Probably end of June, early July, right before the national, and then the next one September, then October, then December.
Will they all end? And I haven't put any thought into this. I just see an auction, I go bid. I don't care because if I'm bidding on an auction, I don't care what night of the week it is, to be quite honest with you. Right. But I know you don't want to end, exactly at the same time as like a Golden Premiere or PWCC Premiere or something like that. Is it always going to be on a Sunday?
I think so.
Something we can count on? Okay, so Sunday is probably.
And we're always looking for feedback. Like I talked to someone actually before the show, and he asked certain questions, and it actually made a lot of sense. And I think we'll take those into account. We're always looking to grow and change and not stay the same, right? Because if we can make it better, we'll make it better.
Yep. Well, thanks for joining the show. I'll say it again. Like, Josh is one of my best friends in the hobby. Like, I trust him implicitly. Like, you're one of the people that I would vouch for with my wallet.
Thank you. And you too.
Look, I probably owe you money or at least dinner or something because I've learned so much from you. Especially about, Hal Newhouser and some of those guys, some of the old guard, the old vintage base. Here he comes.
It's not here. I thought I had it. I was gonna.
Damn, that would have been right. That would have been so cool, right on cue. But Josh is trustworthy as it gets. So I'm glad that there's somebody in the business that's open an auction house with the types of cards that I care about and a lot of people watch and care about, who we can know and trust. So I appreciate you joining the channel, man, for sure.
Thank you so much. And I feel the same about you. So thank you.
Okay. So much. Guys, if you want to get in touch with Josh and get him that way, but also put something in the comments if you have a question. Josh is going to read the comments and we'll make sure we comment and I'll put you in touch with him and we'll get you answers to any questions you got about 90sauctions.com.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Take care, Brad.
Thanks, Josh.